with eatfresh.org webinar. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. My name is Jessica Sildorf, and I'm joined today by Erin Franey. We are both program coordinators for eatfresh.org at Leah's Pantry, and we're excited to share strategies for incorporating eatfresh.org into your youth programming and outreach. We also have Larry Edmonds from the San Diego American Indian Health Center joining us as a guest speaker to tell us how they have used eatfresh.org with youth and how it has impacted their organization as a whole. So we all wanted to just briefly say hello, and we'll be switching off our cameras now. All right. For those of you who are unfamiliar with everything we do at Leah's Pantry, I want to quickly give some background on our organization. Leah's Pantry promotes healthier lives among low-income and food-insecure populations through innovative cooking and nutrition programs. We accomplish our mission through 3 strategies. First, we work directly with low-income individuals to support healthy, sustained behavior changes related to food choices, cooking, and shopping through interactive, effective, and culturally relevant programs. We primarily use our Food Smarts curriculum, although we have a variety of other programs as well that meet the unique needs of our clients and partners. Second, we work with organizations who serve low-income individuals to build their capacity to support these types of programs. This work includes staff training, including our Food Smarts training program, as well as other programs that work with agency staff. This webinar would be an example of this type of work. Last, we ensure that the right tools exist to make these programs effective. We develop and evaluate online nutrition education tools, community-driven recipes and cookbooks, and innovative curriculum to use both within our own programs and also to share with others. Our eatfresh.org tools, including our youth-focused YouTube channel, are examples of this strategy. All of our programs are based on stages of change. Most of you have heard of stages of change, but just as a reminder, the basic premise is that people need to be ready to receive information in order for it to be actionable and influence behavior. When we talk about engaging youth in this webinar, we are trying to move youth from not thinking about their diet to thinking about it and then on to action. Our question is, how do we get youth interested in SNAP-Ed health and nutrition messages? How do we get them interested in the eatfresh.org online tools? So let's take a look at the agenda for our webinar. We'll look at an overview of eatfresh.org and the eatfresh.org mini course. We'll share results of our formative evaluation with youth and eatfresh.org, our strategies for tailoring health messages for youth, notes from the field, which is where Larry will be sharing his experience at the San Diego American Indian Health Center, engaging youth with eatfresh.org and connections to different types of programs, and then some time for Q&A at the end. As many of you on this webinar know, eatfresh.org is a multilingual, mobile-friendly recipe and chronic disease prevention website that was created specifically for the CalFresh population by San Francisco Human Services Agency and Leah's Pantry. It launched on September 30th, 2013, and is approved for use in SNAP-Ed programs, including those funded by NEOP-B. If you aren't familiar with eatfresh.org, we suggest you watch our short demo video after the webinar. And I'm pasting it into the chat box right now. And that's the link to our Intro to eatfresh webinar. As of today, we've had about 135,000 unique users onto eatfresh.org, with 25% of those visits coming from a mobile device. Now, the eatfresh.org mini course is an approved SNAP-Ed online nutrition class designed for low-income populations and the organizations that serve them. The mini course leverages the content of eatfresh.org by covering a wide variety of nutrition and food resource management topics. It takes advantage of best practices in e-learning to deliver fun and engaging nutrition lessons. Our goal is for the mini course to be a tool for all types of organizations looking to both support their clients' health and increase digital health literacy. The course is available for English and Spanish-speaking audiences with any computer skill level. We've chosen a narrative instructional strategy for most of the topics, with characters who are realistic and approachable for viewers. These characters are the champion moms and dads of this population, modeling healthy behaviors and attitudes while also voicing common barriers and difficulties. We hope that you all have already created a mini course account and have explored some of the 15 topics. We did a webinar in June that walked everyone through how to create an account, how to promote the mini course in your work, and track participant data. So I'm also going to paste the link to that webinar recording in the chat box right now for those of you who missed that one and might want to watch it on your own time. Now, before we dive into strategies for bringing these online tools to our youth participants, let's do a quick poll. So the question is, what youth age groups does your organization serve? And go ahead and check all of them that apply. And those ages, I know are estimates. They may not be exact on the transition between elementary and middle school, for example, but just go ahead and click the ones that apply to you. Looks like we have quite a variety. And I'll share the results in a minute. I'm just going to give everyone a chance to respond. Okay, it looks, oh, we got one more. Okay. I'm going to end the voting and share the results so everyone can see. It looks like we have a pretty good distribution among everyone on the call, which is great. Glad to see that. Okay. At Leah's Pantry, we have worked with youth in our in-person workshops and through school cooking clubs, but we didn't feel like we had an effective roadmap for integrating eatfresh.org into this programming. We used the website on smartphones during the classes to view recipes, but for youth audiences who had grown up online, the website wasn't the exciting reveal that it can be for our older populations. It was simply an effective tool for them. We did notice that the youth would get excited about the food they created, often taking pictures and posting them onto their personal Instagram accounts. So this showed us that the youth liked both cooking and content creation. They got excited to share their experience with their peers and online followers. It also showed confidence in their ability to create a healthy meal. This type of confidence is a short-term indicator that is predictive of longer-term behavior change. So in order to explore this topic more fully, we asked the Public Health Institute to run focus groups with youth and young adults in Oakland, Fresno, and Stockton to capture their perspectives and reactions to eatfresh.org and the mini course. Each group was asked to give feedback on the ease of use, content, and overall impression for different resources. 2 groups assessed 2 sets of topics from the mini course, and the 3rd group assessed eatfresh.org. Through questionnaires and focus groups, the feedback was positive overall. The group that assessed eatfresh.org said that the website is a good resource for health information, that they learned something new by visiting eatfresh.org, and they could use the website to help eat healthier foods. One participant in the mini course group said, "The modules seem very helpful and informative. Also, the way it is designed seems engaging and helps me to focus more and be attentive to what it was saying and teaching. I enjoyed the fact that it didn't just tell us what is right to eat, but rather guided us into how to do it and how to cook good and healthy meals." Another participant said, the modules inspired me to pay more attention to the labels and the intake of sodium. It also inspired me to watch with my little sister and was relatable for her. The changes I want to see in my community inspire me, especially for my little sister. However, we did discover that both of the mini course groups did not feel the characters represented people who they would interact with on a daily basis. When asked about their preferred method of delivery of information, live video and watching human interaction was consistently requested across the groups. Comments included, no real person interaction, that would make it relevant. I want to see real actors, make it faster, human, livelier, need to show more humor, or have a live chef teach steps and make it more interactive. Can show someone cooking the meal, more engaging visually and sensory stimulating. Combined with our own experiences watching youth get excited and confident about their own culinary adventures, we decided to create an eatfresh.org YouTube channel. Leah's Pantry will populate the channel and content created by our youth participants themselves. We are just getting started, but I am going to paste the link in our chat box so you can visit that YouTube channel and take a look at the videos that we have up there right now. So let's actually watch one of those videos. This one is for making the Great Grape Smoothie, which is found on eatfresh.org. And this video was submitted by 3 teenagers in San Diego.
Hello, my name is Mia. I live in La Jolla, California, and today we'll be making the Great Grape Smoothie.
I'm going to pause it real quick. Can everyone hear the audio okay? No, okay. That was my guess because I have my earbuds in. Let me rewind. Oops. Uh-oh. Let's try that again.
Hello, my name is Mia. I live in La Jolla, California, and today we'll be making the Great Grape Smoothie.
Okay, hopefully that wasn't too bad. I see Erin said that there was feedback. Sorry about that if that was distracting, but you get the picture. They're on the YouTube channel for you to watch afterwards. Okay, so now let's talk about tailoring the messages for youth. Oh, good, Larry, you were able to see it. Thank you. So another facet of youth engagement is how to nuance messages to grab the attention of younger audiences. You may have found in your work already that it can be difficult to communicate health messages to youth or teens. This is a common challenge. Teens and young adults are exposed to an average of 9 hours of entertainment media per day, and that media environment is cluttered, making it difficult to break through with your messages. Plus, youth are finicky about how messages are portrayed and will quickly disregard them if it doesn't resonate with them. Based on research from Rescue Agency, a behavior change marketing company, one of the key components to engaging youth is authenticity. Authenticity is crucial for youth to identify with viewing the message as being one of us. Rescue Agency found that youth who could personally identify with models depicted in an ad were more likely to agree with the campaign messages. It's important to match the visual style or models in any materials that you use to that which with your youth identify. Since we aren't using actors for our videos, our goal is to represent many types of youth throughout California and give them creative freedom to record and edit video as they would like it to appear. We do have a video template with intro and outro logo animations, but the video is largely directed by the youth. Another key component is using media channels that youth are already spending time on. Great examples are Snapchat, YouTube, and Instagram. Rather than pulling your audience onto a new channel, produce content that resonates with your audience where they already are, and then link them to your website or online resource. This coming year, using Google Ad grant funds will be one way to drive youth traffic to our YouTube channel. We know that youth primarily search for health information on YouTube, so we plan on building our followers in a variety of ways. As we have often said before, Leah's Pantry considers the online environment an important setting for SNAP-Ed. And just as we want our in-person interventions to be where our population is, we also want our online tools to have a presence in all the right places. So let's do another quick poll. This one asks, where do the teenagers in your life get their information from online? Go ahead and check all that apply, and this doesn't necessarily have to be those you work with. It could be your own kids if you have teens at home, any teenagers. And if there's something that's not represented on this list, go ahead and type it into the chat box. We're interested to see if there are any others that we're missing here. Okay, it looks like we've captured just about everyone, so I'm going to share the results so you all can see it. So it looks like YouTube and Instagram are 80%, Facebook 71%, Snapchat 66%. That's interesting to me. Any others? I saw a few of you started to type, but then nothing came through. Okay, well, if you think of them later, we could always share during the Q&A session. So when we're creating content for a youth audience, for health messages or otherwise, it's important to acknowledge that youth are most likely to respond positively to messages that speak to looking out for family, which was validated through our focus groups with the respondent I mentioned previously who watched the mini course topic with her little sister, working hard to achieve success, and attaining or regaining control over their life. This diagram represents how defining values, strategies, and tools can help to clearly articulate the pathway toward a desired outcome. In our case, sustained long-term health behaviors among our youth participants. To begin, we can identify the specific values we bring to this particular program, which are informed by what we know are effective for a youth audience: authentic engagement, incorporating youth feedback, honoring youth values and interests, stimulating imagination, and having fun. These values guide our strategies and also help select appropriate tools to achieve our goals. Since we're not able to assume that our youth audiences have already identified their food choices as a top interest or value, we have to learn what does motivate them in order to move them along the stages of change for healthy behaviors. Through these discussions, youth can understand the interdependence between physical health and their own ideas of success and happiness. We chose YouTube as an engagement tool because content creation and peer-to-peer sharing are in alignment with our program values. Youth have a lot of control over content, which gives them freedom of expression, and it's really fun. Once the video resonates with the youth, they will be more open to hearing health messages from another source like the mini course. They are already open to hearing health information, so their focus is on the content of the course. The course itself is less of an engagement tool and more of a content delivery tool. This is an important distinction since we heard from the youth focus groups that the adult characters in the mini course did not draw them in the same way that these characters engage adult audiences. Since we are unable to rebuild the mini course specifically for a youth audience, using YouTube as a bridge provided a workable solution. At this point, we are building our recipe library, but later in this fiscal year, we plan to introduce different types of videos which will feature youth introducing health messages in addition to recipe preparation. One example where we have begun to use this strategy is the San Diego American Indian Health Center. Larry will share more details in a bit about the work we are doing with the San Diego American Indian Health Center, but to give you an idea, we have involved the youth in developing Native American recipes for a cookbook, while also recording videos for our recipe development for YouTube to showcase their work. This group recorded videos, and you can see one of them standing up on a chair in the top left-hand corner, looking down onto the stove, recording video. And we also know that this group highly values their Native American culture. And they told us that they frequently use YouTube to find videos about cooking and eating, among other interests. We're highlighting aspects of what they value to increase interest and curiosity in eatfresh.org. As a result, the youth are more interested in healthy eating and living, and now have a vested interest in eatfresh.org because they have become content creators and are community experts. Many of you have seen something similar with younger kids. When they're able to grow vegetables in the garden or create dishes themselves, they are more likely to taste the food. So that same logic applies here. Now I'll pass the mic over to Larry Edmonds from the San Diego American Indian Health Center to share more about how eatfresh.org influenced his work and the culture of the center. So Larry, go ahead and turn on your mic.
Okay. Hello again. Good morning, everyone. And thank you for having me here. Hope you all having a good week. My name is Larry Edmonds, and I work for the American Indian Health Center as a youth program coordinator. I'm here to talk about my relationship and time with Leah's Pantry and using eatfresh.org. At our youth center, we have been very pleased to make changes in the way we buy and prepare food because of what we are learning. The kids love it. For me, it has been a personal change in the way I prepare my foods because I am aware of what I'm eating and why it's healthier for me to make changes to eat right. It's very important to find foods that are better for me, does not cause high cholesterol or high blood pressure because I'm getting older, and so I have to kind of watch, what I do now. I think about these things because I am conscious of what I'm eating. I've been educated to know what's good for me, and of course, I feel better about myself, and I can teach and help others from what I've learned, and which leads me to what we do at the youth center. Like I said, I am the youth program coordinator, and I work with programs that we do every day with the youth. One of the programs that we use here is called HEAL, which means Healthy Eating, Active Living. And when I started there, they didn't have much going on with the program. So I reached out to other resources like Home Start and Leah's Pantry, who have been very helpful. They have a lot of information for us to use, and they were able to get involved with the youth center. And they actually became part of our program where we could plan meals, classes, and develop recipes for a cookbook of Native American dishes, which is ongoing right now. Once a week, we teach kids about eating right, what foods are about, and prepare meals together, which has been a lot of fun. We had them go to eatfresh.org to pick a meal to make, and then we'd go shopping and educate them on how to buy and select foods for the meals they were going to make. It's fun, and the kids enjoy what they make. One of the kids even made pizza, watermelon pizza with some orange topping and fruit. Was really good, and they had fun doing that. We also started a community garden with the youth center in San Diego Old Town. They have a school there that uh, we were able to come together and do a garden where we can start using it for the community and the youth center. The kids and I are learning more about how to grow and take care of the garden. Vegetables like squash, cucumbers, pumpkins, tomatoes, and herbs are all growing, and we use them in our meals. We prepared meals using the eatfresh.org website to find easy recipes like pumpkin soup or sauteed corn with squash and simple salads. We plan on working with Leah's Pantry and Homestart and use eatfresh to improve the quality of our program. So much to learn still, and we look forward to working with Jessica, Barbara, and Lizette, all of whom have made a big difference in what we do here at the youth center. So I'm very pleased with I'm looking forward to doing more with that, and I'm very pleased with what's going on. Like I said, we didn't have much going on, and now it's kind of really grown into a really nice relationship, and the kids are eating better with what we're doing. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much, Larry. This is Erin. Good morning, everyone. Thank you again for being here. Larry, we are so inspired by all of the changes that you've made personally and at the center to positively impact the health of those you work with. So thank you so much. And now you can mute your mic again, and then we'll have you back for the Q&A. So we know that some of you on this webinar have also experienced using eatfresh.org with youth, and we want to give you a chance to share strategies soon. First, I want to highlight opportunities where you may be able to integrate eatfresh.org into youth programming. So student clubs, like Larry mentioned, so cooking or gardening clubs, single or multi-session nutrition workshops, Youth Participatory Action Research, YPAR, and Youth Community Engagement Projects, high school classes, and one-time events or competitions. So I want to do a quick poll to see if any of you have already used eatfresh.org in youth programming. So yes, no, or no, but we want to. Take a moment to answer. Great. So it looks like a few of you, 23%, said that you have already used eatfresh.org with youth programming. If you want to just quickly chat into the chat box about the ways that you've used eatfresh.org with youth already, that would be great. And if not, then we can talk about it more at the end, but I'd love to hear now just some strategies that you've used. It looks like several people are typing into the chat box, which is great. So Molly Burke from the SF Marin Food Bank, she said single and multi-session workshops are easier and more fun with Eat Fresh. That's awesome. Anyone else, how you have used eatfresh.org in youth programming? Okay, Jennifer Larkin from Santa Cruz County, she says using recipe selection, sharing laminated copy of the homepage in English and Spanish, just providing recipes that coincide with produce at distributions. Great, these are all really good ideas. Awesome. So as you can see, there's so many different ways. Oh, and Lenny says, I have used it with adult workshops and they find it easy to find short and affordable recipes. Great. And we hope that that is also something you can do in a youth workshop setting as well. So I'm going to keep talking, but if you have more experiences, keep typing them in and we'll get to those soon. So many of the ideas we will share today for how to incorporate eatfresh.org into youth work have come from partners who have found ways to use eatfresh.org on their own. The first example is to have eatfresh.org be the go-to website for any cooking club or cooking activities. For example, the Boys and Girls Club of San Francisco and Cameron House have cooking clubs that exclusively use eatfresh.org to choose recipes. As Kelsey Wong, the Out of School Time Programs Director at Cameron House, has said, it's a pretty informal piece of our programming, but the point is that it's an opportunity for our youth to practice their leadership and organizational skills while making healthy recipes. For both organizations, using eatfresh.org not only guarantees that their youth will pick healthy recipes, but allows them to practice finding trusted health resources online. Gardening clubs could also use eatfresh.org to find recipes to make with the foods they harvest, and read about different foods they are growing on the Discover Foods pages. For more traditional single or multi-session nutrition workshops, like some folks in the chat box mentioned, choose recipes from eatfresh.org and have youth pull them up on their phones as you prepare them. Ask them to share the recipes on their Facebook pages or have them take photos of what they prepare and post them to Instagram and tag eatfresh.org, or Pinterest would work as well. They could also take short videos for Snapchat and share the eatfresh.org URL in their post. If visiting farmers markets is a part of your curriculum, or if you discuss them, have youth look up the closest farmers market to their home or where you are running the workshop. So you can do that from the county pages on eatfresh.org. Some groups may have specific questions that would be best answered by a registered dietitian. Submit a question as a group to Ask a Dietitian on eatfresh.org. If you are running a workshop over several weeks, have them pick a question early on so our RD will have a chance to respond before the workshop ends. In several counties around California, we are aware of youth organizations that are participating in county research, such as Communities of Excellence in Nutrition, Physical Activity, and Obesity Prevention, or CX3, tobacco surveys in corner stores, or doing other youth participatory action research projects. Order eatfresh.org posters and recipe cards from us so that youth can ask to hang them up inside corner stores or at other food retail sites in their community. This can be incorporated as they go store to store to conduct surveys and will leave a positive mark behind on the store. Leah's Pantry has funding to print eatfresh.org materials and ship them at no cost to you as long as you are in California. You can place orders using our online order form, and we're posting that link in the chat box now. High schools and junior colleges often offer classes in social issues, current events, and policy. In classes like these, or even more traditional science or health classes, include a section about food insecurity and tie in eatfresh.org as a resource for low-income individuals looking for ways to live healthy on a tight budget. Student volunteers from Woodbury University learned about Leah's Pantry and eatfresh.org in one afternoon, and then created a video for how to chop an onion for a food justice course they were taking. We have heard also of lots of creative ways organizations have used eatfresh.org at one-time events or within competitions. 4-H in San Mateo and San Francisco organized a youth video challenge where they asked youth to film themselves cooking a recipe from eatfresh.org. The 2 winning videos are on our eatfresh.org homepage, which I think Jessica is going to pull up now, and on our YouTube channel. And we just wanted to show you a brief clip from one of those videos.
So it doesn't burst up, and we're going to put the lid on, okay? And make sure the lid doesn't have a cap like this on top, or else it will explode and you'll get burned very bad. All right, so make sure it's on 0, right? Turn it on. All right, you can turn it up. Okay. Now we should add some more in there. And then we'll blend that up. Okay. Okay, so we have our bowl, and we're gonna pour this soup in. Okay, looks good. and then we're gonna garnish it with some ground black pepper.
It seemed like there were some sound issues with the video. You can find it from the eatfresh.org homepage in the lower right-hand corner. There's an embedded video, and it says from the 4-H group in San Mateo and San Francisco. So I encourage you to watch it. That first video has some bloopers at the end that are really great. So yeah, please go online and watch it later. And we are looking for partners to help us make more videos. We have a video guide that you can download from the Files window with simple instructions that make it easier to record footage. You can record video on a smartphone according to our instructions and then upload it to Dropbox or Google Drive. We'll add the intro and outro eatfresh.org logo animations, ingredients, texts, and background music. This speeds up the process of video creation and aligns it with our branding. And while nearly all youth enjoy watching videos, there are a wide variety of skill levels when it comes to editing video. So we are happy to help do that. So far, we have created videos with high school and college students, but we think middle school students would also be an appropriate age group to make these videos. So we're going to do one last poll based on what we shared today. How might you use eatfresh.org with youth, and check all that apply? So the options are creating recipe how-to or taste test videos using eatfresh.org recipes, as a trusted online resource for after-school clubs like cooking or gardening clubs, finding and sharing recipes during a workshop, and YPAR or youth community engagement projects. Great, if everyone can finish up the poll. Oh, what is YPAR, Elizabeth? It's Youth Participatory Action Research, and it's a style of engaging youth that have them research a community issue and then develop recommendations and an action plan around addressing that issue. So an example might be that they realize that there's not a good place for youth in a high school to fill up water bottles with water. And so investigating that and figuring out what it might take to get a refill station in their school, things like that. So looking at this poll, it looks like there's a bunch of different things that people might be interested in, especially finding and sharing recipes during a workshop. So using eatfresh.org as a tool to do that. And again, I know sometimes it seems like having adults or youth pulling out their phones during workshops as being a negative thing, but I think it can be done well in such a way that's getting them excited about what they're making and sharing it with their communities, which again is just expanding the number of people who are kind of receiving that positive nutrition and healthy messaging through their own content creation, which is great. So before we move on to Q&A, I want to highlight the eatfresh.org toolkit, which you can access from the Leah's Pantry website. You'll find how-to guides, our print materials order form, promotional files, webinar recordings, and our newsletter sign up on the toolkit. So Jessica has pasted the link in the chat box. And now we'll move on to Q&A.
Great, thank you, Erin. Oh yeah, thank you for turning off your audio. I want to make sure there was no feedback. So does anyone have questions for either Erin, myself, or for Larry? We have a few minutes. You can either type them into the chat box, or if you raise your hand through the feature on this webinar, we can give you the mic. All right, Elizabeth is typing. Or maybe not. Okay, Elizabeth asks, I'm curious to know how often end users are participating in webinars. We probably don't have any end users, our target audience, meaning the SNAP-Ed population, participating in our webinars. These webinars are advertised to our partner organizations, so I doubt that there are any of our users on the webinars. Larry asks, what is the average length of your videos? So our goal really is to keep them within 1 to 2 minutes. So really a 1-minute video is the most ideal. As you can imagine, our attention spans online are pretty short. So the more condensed, the better. And if some of you are familiar with tasty videos, that style of recipe how-to of a video is kind of what we're emulating, because the kids respond really well to that. So for those of you who were able to see the video up on the screen of that great grape smoothie, you probably noticed that there were a lot of similarities there. And that editing was done entirely by the teenagers. And if you remember, it was very, very quick cuts. So that's really the style that youth are going for right now. Elizabeth asks, isn't there online nutrition training that SNAP-Ed population can participate in, or am I mistaken? I'm not sure, actually. Online nutrition.
I think like the mini course would be like the online nutrition, SNAP-Ed training. So yes, Elizabeth, that is our online nutrition education class, and it's SNAP-Ed approved and meant to be used statewide. And so that is a great resource for really anyone, but particularly for lower income folks to be able to learn more about health and nutrition via an online class.
Yes, thank you, Erin. I was really fixated on her first question asking about webinars, and I couldn't think of any. But yes, absolutely, our mini course is SNAP-Ed approved. I just put the link in the chat box, so you can go ahead and click on that, and that'll bring you directly to the mini course. It's also accessible from the eatfresh.org homepage. There's a button that you'll see Kenny the Kale, our little mascot for the mini course, and you just click on that and it'll take you there. Let's go to our next question. Cindy asks, what is a good way to be able to afford supplies for workshops? That's a good question. I don't really know if I can answer that, except just to find funding that would allow you to purchase supplies.
And I would say too,
shopping at dollar stores, and sometimes you can find stuff there that's affordable. Erin, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, oftentimes it doesn't take much to be able to have like a few cutting boards or a few knives. And depending on where you're running programming, sites often will have a kitchen in them, even if it's mostly meant for staff. And you might be able to just borrow certain types of supplies directly from the site that you're running the programming at.
Another suggestion is to ask local grocery stores if they'll donate supplies to you. So that may be an option if you just ask if they have a donation policy. Okay, Elizabeth, I think we answered that. Next question about the mini course. Jennifer asks, what is the link for the video guide? So that's the PDF that's sitting in the shared files window on this webinar right now. You click the blue download button. It's a circle on the right. So you can download it there, or just wait for my email after this webinar. I'll be sharing a link to the recording as well as the slides and that video guide that we referenced. So the video guide just walks you through all the settings for how to record video on a smartphone. Really simple, but just tips really for capturing footage with youth. But again, you would just send the footage to us, so we would add in the beginning, the intro and outro, and then put it up on our YouTube channel. And you can send us raw footage if you'd like. Obviously, the most ideal would be to give that editing license to the kids, So if you do have time to edit the footage, you can even sometimes do it on your smartphone or on a laptop and then send it in. That would be great too. Okay. Do you have any data about how many people are utilizing the mini course? We do, and I think Erin has, I think you may have been the one most recently to look at that.
Yeah, so it kind of varies month to month. I would say as we are getting more partners helping to promote the mini course, that has definitely increased the number of people getting online and creating accounts. So for example, in August, we had 27 people create an account. In July, we had 31. In June, there were 80 people that created accounts. So we're hoping that these numbers continue to grow. And just a quick update about that for folks on the webinar who might have a referral code for the mini course or are interested in one, we have received some guidance from CDSS saying that we will be reporting all of that data card information that we collect when people create an account back to the organization, if they put in that referral code, back to your organization so that you can enter it directly into the ATF. So that's an update kind of on our end. And if this all sounds confusing to you and you're unfamiliar with that process, then just email Jessica or myself. Our emails are on this last slide, and we can chat with you about getting a referral code so that you can help promote the mini course as a great option for people who want to learn more about nutrition and health, either after a class or who maybe you meet at a health fair and they can't attend a workshop for whatever reason. As an extender, it's great. And we would love to connect you with a referral code, and then you'll be able to take that data and input it into the ATF. And the mini course is available in English and Spanish. And it looks like some people have jumped in. Thank you, everyone, for responses about where to buy food for workshops. So this is great. And I would also say, too, just one more thought, that we have gotten donations for a couple years. Farm Box, located in the Bay Area, gave us a weekly box for free, and now we get a couple boxes weekly from Imperfect Produce for free for our workshop. So I would also say, so grocery stores are great to ask, but if there are more kind of CSA type programs where you live and work, then that might be another place to go and ask to get free deliveries of produce. So I know we're nearing the end of our time. Oh, and the local food bank. Thanks, Jennifer. Any final questions? Doesn't look like it. Well, thank you everyone so much. And as Jessica said, we'll send out an email with those the link to the webinar and also the files that we mentioned, including that guide for how to create the videos. And just really appreciate your time today.